All right, so come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. I am so excited. It's Tuesday. We've got a Guardian Cryptic ahead of us today. I got a fabulous wine, and I just know it's even settled and even become more amazing over the time that it took for me to solve the New York Times today. And I have to share with you this beautiful drive home because it's the second day in a row, and we're not even into summer yet, where the weather is just gorgeous here. And for the majority of the drive between where I work and where I live, which is about a 30-minute drive each day, it's just a bucolic scenery. It's cattle and it's farms and stuff and tractors on the roads, and it's just beautiful. But the green is peeking through. The leaves are coming through. It is really, I mean, this is Frühlingszeit here in Deutschland. It's spring, and it's really starting to come through. And the honey spreaders are at it. They're spreading the fertilizer right now everywhere, and you can certainly smell that. I had the top down in the car today, and whoo, yeah, for a while there, it was effluviums of ruralness. But take a look at this beautiful label on this wine. It is absolutely gorgeous. I saw this in the wine store, and I just had to give it a shot. And I bought it on Saturday, and I've been kind of waiting to dig into it. But this is the Ferrovieri, the Montepulciano di Abruzzo d'Or. And it is a fabulous one. And it's like loaded with cassis, and I think I described it as a playful medley of strawberries and cherries that kind of floating around in the secondary and the tertiary channels in my nose. Just amazing. And there's a certain minerality in there, a terroir, that really is becoming ever apparent to me as I'm sampling more and more Italian wines these days, which is not a hard task, but when you live in Germany and the wine is just so freaking good here, you know, but it's wonderful. And on the palate, it's on the bold side of the spectrum. It's soft, slightly acidic. There's a wonderful finish to it. You're not limited because of tannins on what you can eat or do with this wine. It's wonderful. And it's extremely dry, but it is very, very fruity and floral. It is a beautiful wine. If you get a chance to buy one of these, I legitimately give it a 3.8 or 3.9. It's just a really good wine. And that's glass number 2 as we go through the grid here. And I'm sure I'll easily have glass number 3 before repairing myself to the second bottle of the evening before it's all said and done. So let's hop into our grid and see what we've got today. We have the Cryptic Crossword number 29669. And my gosh, have we got a lot of new subscribers. I'd say we're nearing close to 200 new subscribers over the last 36 hours. Must have really struck a chord with somebody out there. But I'm not complaining at all. I'm excited about that. I love to see our community grow. And it's such a specialized community that, you know, it's not a place where, you know, I mean, if you subscribe to this channel, you're either really into the Guardian or you're really into the New York Times or you're really into both, like a lot of people, including me. And so I think it's a very special crowd to begin with, you know. So, yeah, welcome every one of you. Welcome every one of you. And so let's go ahead and hop in here, very carefully put this in here. So we got this setting today by Ludwig. And by the way, I watched your show last night, Ludwig. I was on episode 3 of season 1, and I have to tell you, I'm pretty impressed with the way you found the killer of that Yank tour guide there in the church. That's good work. Thought in a couple of scenes there, though, that your brother was dead until I realized it was the prisoner or something. Oh, it scared me. Okay. So on reflection, ultimately calamitous, UK to consume excessively American puzzles. Okay, all right, so this is what we're going to do today, huh, Ludwig? Fiber in hummus is a legume. Fiber in. Hummus is a legume. Perhaps that's where we're supposed to work with that. Hummus is a legume. I mean, I'm already thinking sisal because of the fiber here. And then I've got the S-I-S-A-L. Can we go with sisal? Why not? Pin on leg. Wasn't expecting that after this one. This thing here. Okay, less complicated to act coy around. Less complicated to act coy around 50. Okay, so less complicated to act coy around 50. Agitator, rep, apathetic, but what did you say? Okay, well, all right, so if we have an excessively American puzzle, this could be Sudokus. I don't and have never done one of those. I don't know. For some reason, just messing with numbers doesn't. But that D, which is where I was thinking I was going with that, I just was thinking it sounds excessively Asian puzzle, but I know Americans love them. But an agitator is a demagogue, and G-U-E. So yeah, as far as rep, apathetic, but what did you say? So I still don't know what less complicated to act coy around 50. Less complicated could be simpler. But I need to keep... Oh, why am I inserting emojis? Come on, Christopher, please. You gotta get it together, buddy. I know it's been a long day, and it has been a long day. Okay, so simpler. Trim small trees. Trim small trees. So trim could be spruce. There's a spruce up, and small trees could be spruces. Okay, that's kind of a double definition, maybe, I guess you could say. Okay, physicist, evil liar, curt, twisted manipulator. Curt, twisted manipulator. All right. One fellow with beer admitted to weight that keeps going up in Africa. Admitted to weight that keeps going up in Africa. I've got this K and this L. I'm going to go with Kilimanjaro. And I think... No, what am I doing? I can't believe I just did that. Good Lord, I cannot get used to when I just do the New York Times. It's not like I'm making excuses. I'm just saying this is what happens. I get used to the grid there, and then I start lousing things up here. But so one fellow, a man with beer, could have a jar, a pint jar, admitted to weight kilo that keeps going up in Africa, Kilimanjaro. If I missed anything, I'm sorry. I feel really good for doing that much. Temporary authorities on the subject of convenience. Temporary authorities on the subject of convenience. And so if we're talking about temporary authorities, we could be talking about regents. And on the subject of convenience, regents, let me put that in. So we could have on the subject of regarding, subject of convenience, maybe the gents. There was a phenomena, though, during, I think, World Wars I and II, where the UK, in the British Army specifically, I can't speak to the Royal Navy or the Royal Air Force, but I know in the British Army, there was a group of people that were known as temporary gentlemen, that you didn't have enough officers because of the attrition. You know, it's war, right? You know, and y'all were in both of them pretty deep, pretty heavy from the very get-go. So I just think to myself, what an awfully sad thing that must have been to have been given a commission by, at the time, His Majesty, only to have it taken away from you at the end and returned to life without that title, you know. I don't know. I took a commission when I joined the United States Army, but I had an education and I went through officer training school. I mean, I fit all the marks. There was no just, well, we'll let him in because we're shouting. No, it was part of the deal. But I always think about that. How most officers in the United States military I could speak of, we would never resign our commissions, ever. Even though, you know, we could just resign and just walk away from it. We never do, you know. For me, I don't want to have to give up my mess uniform. I don't ever have to buy another tuxedo again. I have a tuxedo for life. And it comes with cool medals on it, you know. So I'm just saying, I mean, I don't want to get rid of my commission. I'll always want to be Captain Christopher.combest, right? You know, I'd hate for that to just be taken away. I'm high and far from dry. Okay. All right. Country where you might find high dudgeon and greater wrath. Okay. Ireland. Yeah, so what do we got here? I'm high and far from dry. Okay, as an example, making good use of the things that you find. I feel like I should know that. That just sounds like such a nice definition. Classical musician, entreat hospital for returning. Don't know. Tony's absent. A simpleton. Daft. Doffed. Sap you'll find here. Oh, I don't know. Daft sap you'll find here. I'll put it in a maple. Tony's absent. A simpleton. Okay, so fought director, toppling leader, conquered. Okay, well, not just yet. No, making good use of them. Abandoned, somewhat absurd is U.S. education. Abandoned. Somewhat. Absurd is US. So the DISUSED endings. Absurd is US ed. That could be disused. Classical musician entreat hospital for returning. Orpheus? Oh, I hope so. Finally see the squirrel fish. Finally see the squirrel fish. From an eel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Okay, so fought, director, toppling, leader, conquered. This looks like it could be dueled. I don't understand any of it, though. Not a single bit of it. I'm high and far from dry. Looks like it could be a rain cloud, and that makes sense. That is just a riddle, right? And so as an example, making good use of the things that you find could be common sense. And I knew it had to be something remarkably, elegantly easy like that because it was such a nice definition. See, oh God. Volunteers given Japanese soup in ground. Volunteers given Japanese soup in ground. I don't know what that is yet. Clever clogs. Sting, that is. Okay. Fancy or fishy? Suspect? Really have a double definition on that one too. Where that's loud and massive. Regularly engage, poacher needing this. An egg? If you take E-G-G out of engage, where that's loud and massive. Where? Oh, could be too great. But loud and massive could be great. So it could be a homophone. Clever clogs. Still don't know. No, I'm not going to know that for a bit. I don't think. Draw some of sun's heat twice. Oh, okay. Bleeding menaces causing a flap. 7 and 4. Bleeding menaces causing a flap. And I think that 4 there could be bats. These could be vampire bats, but bleeding menaces. Okay, vampires. Causing a flap, is that a thing? Am I batting something around which causes like an ado or a ruckus or a Barney of some sort? I don't know, because again, like I was explaining to Neil in a comment conversation, it's sometimes I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and it's just nice to know that a lot of people don't know what they're doing. We're kind of, hey, I think this will fit. And then you put it in and it's right, but then you're like, how did I make that work though? You're like, how does the clue actually fit that, you know? And for the longest time, I thought, oh, this just makes sense to everybody, and I'm the one who's not getting it. And I can see that. I'm a Yank. I got it, you know, a little thick and overthinking stuff. And, you know, maybe not the brightest bulb on the tree, but I try. And gammon rejected food in European city. So if I'm thinking gammon, jambon, I'm thinking ham. Rejected food in European city. Rejected food. I think this is Hamburg. And maybe it's got a hamburger thing going on. Berg spelled backwards is grub. I mean, I'm just looking for any. I'm like a pattern-seeking mammal, as are all of us, right? We're all pattern seekers, but I'm specifically looking for a pattern to excuse how I came up with this, which is just right out of my third point of contact here. That's how I came up with it. Draw some of sun's heat twice. I don't know what this 19 across is yet, but when we get down there to it, I'm looking forward. Let's try to see if we can tackle this here. Like one favoring harriers or their namesake. The Harrier jet is named after the Harrier hawk. And if you're favoring harriers or hawks, then you could be hawkish. Now, what do we got here? This looks like Machiavelli. So, physicist, evil liar, curt, twisted manipulator. Sounds like Machiavelli to me. Machiavelli. Very nice. Okay. That just fell into my lap. Somewhat fortuitously, I say. So, what do we got going on? Which one's going to give me the clue? Okay, aspiring to level of Tom, Jade, and Quincy. 72437. Oh. Tom Jones, Jay Jones, Quincy Jones. So maybe we are keeping up with the Joneses. Man, that is the kind of thing that when it hits you, whew, man, am I feeling chuffed now, right? I am absolutely feeling chuffed. I need to learn another word for chuffed. I'm starting to overuse this one. Keeping up with let's go way back over here and get our Joneses in, which sounds awful. Jonesin', man, Jonesin'. So clever clogs sting. That is sting. I don't know what clever clogs are, but a sting. Ouch! And ouch, it could be a smarty. I just need a few letters, and usually I can maybe work something out of it, right? But draw some of the sun's heat twice, and this is looking like it could be to unsheath and sun's heat. So UNSHEAT, and then an HE. I don't know what that would be, but I can kind of see sun's heat twice, so maybe unsheath. And I'm sure that's part of a thing. Oh, yeah, but the HE at the end, that means, you know, twice or something. I don't know. I don't know what. How many atoms does the? What's the weight of the helium atom? You know, I'm going to. It's number 2 on the periodic table. I don't know. I mean, no idea. So, volunteers given Japanese soup and ground. So volunteers maybe joins up. All right. Well, there we go. Concerning number of roach trails identified at intervals. And this looks like it could be an octal. Which now I'm wondering, how does the base of 8 have anything to do with roach trails identified at intervals? And I'm not an entomologist, so I don't know. Roach trails, so we got 6 legs, right? I mean, they're 6-legged creatures. So that doesn't work with the octal. Concerning number of roach trails identified at intervals, it just be 8 roaches? We're talking about base of 8, so I mean, it could be anything. Never mind. I don't know. I can't do it. Okay, hardly professional exam. I'm lying here. Looks like a hammock. And hardly professional exam. So maybe a ham, it's kind of like a hamming it up, and then a mock. Sometimes we have mock surveys, mock exams, right? And I think in the UK, y'all might actually call exams mocks, perhaps. I don't know for sure. French word for test or French word would be mot. And I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm not saying that I got this nailed down. I'm saying that in spirit I did. I don't know if I've misspelled something or what, but let's take a look and see. Let's check our grid here. And I don't see any spaces that have been clear. Sure enough, there is. So, yeah, I was so on kilo instead of Kilimanjaro. Oh, well, you know what? Still, I think fantastic grid. Fantastic job, Ludwig. Some of these, though, I got to tell you, after I get better with time, maybe I'll get it more. But right now, I'm feeling pretty good about all of it. I really am enjoying the drive home, just thinking about getting this done. So well done, Ludwig. And again, thank you for finding the killer of that poor Yankee tour guide there at the church. So we'll bring in our Benny Dadu, and without any further ado, just want to say thank you to everyone, to our new subscribers that are here for the Guardian specifically. Welcome. So glad you're here. It warms my heart. Please feel free to comment, share, etc. This is community. This is our little village of crucive herbalists, and I'm just so glad to have you here. And to the rest of us out there, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, servus, grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin, and please try to remember to be kind to people. We all need it right now, and I'll talk with you soon. Just take care. See you tomorrow.